Country number 16, Argentina, the final country we'll be visiting on the Pan American Highway. After a rather ambitious route through Bolivia to get here, we're taking a minute to slow down, regroup, and enjoy Argentina's technicolored landscape. This place is like nothing we've ever seen before. It's going to be a colorful week, so buckle up and let's roam. Some roads don't simply exist on a map. They live in your mind, calling to you in your sleep, filling your thoughts at work. The Pan American Highway, a road spanning the length of North and South America, a 30,000-kilometer road trip through more than 15 countries, is that road for us. Life to us is nothing more than a collection of moments, and we want to fill our moments with adventure. So for 18 months, we'll be driving south from Tuktoyakta, Canada, all the way to Ushuaia, Argentina. From the Arctic to the Andes, through deserts, jungles, and the unknown, we'll live and wander in our self-built adventure mobile, seeking stories, chasing landscapes, and redefining what it means to us to be modern-day explorers. This is our journey. Just minutes ago, we crossed out of Bolivia into Chile, and we are now heading in the direction of the border to Argentina. The landscape that we are driving through is astoundingly beautiful and changing like every 20 minutes. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. Unlike Bolivia, unlike the north of Chile, or anywhere else we've been on the Pan American Highway. Although we're still in Chile, it feels like we're in no man's land, a secret little corner tucked away high up in the Altiplano that has some of that extra special, if you know what I mean. Argentina is the 16th and final country we'll be visiting on the Pan Am, and we are immensely excited to explore what's within its borders. Little do we know at this point that we're about to plunge ourselves into a part of the world that is oddly like our home in so many ways. Well, folks, welcome to almost Argentina. We're about 10 kilometers from the border crossing, and the drive today from Bolivia through Chile has been
breathtaking.
Speechless. I am speechless. It is absolutely incredible out here. Like, look at that landscape. And like, it's been like this for the past 113 kilometers roughly. I think we're in for a real treat in Argentina. We're very excited, and we've got lots to go and see.
And this is the last country.
This is country number 16.
Surreal.
Let's go! Well, there's the Argentina sign. Or you'd think so anyway. You know, we've gotten some flack for putting stickers on signs before, but I've got to say, it's mostly motorcyclists from South America.
They love it.
It's not really actually overlanders. It's mostly motorcycles. Argentina, what? Well, honey, we're officially in Argentina.
Yahoo!
Country number 16.
Gas!
Let's get some gas. So we now know that we can drive over 800 kilometers, probably easily 900 kilometers, as you can see. So we can probably do 900 kilometers with the fuel that we can carry, which is a great feeling.
Yahoo!
This right here is our first look at Argentina, and you may or may not see it, but I'm having a hard time chasing away the feeling that I'm in a place with a strange mix of Nevada, Arizona, and believe it or not, Alberta, Canada. I think it's the sweeping valleys with low scrub and the rock in the distance that brings me to Nevada and Arizona, but it's the big skies here that lead me to think we're in Alberta. It's a strange feeling that this place has, but I'm certainly not upset about it. I think it just serves to strengthen my growing theory that our world is more interconnected than we think it is, and there are mirrors of distant places everywhere we wander to. On today's drive, we're not trying to get too far into Argentina. We have just driven out of the Lagunas route after all, and border crossings are always a little tedious. Not to mention, we did 2 of them today. So we're stopping off near the town of Susques for the night. After a few failed attempts at finding a hidden away spot, we found ourselves here, just off the road and visible from 3 sides. Not our ideal spot, but the views ain't bad. And speaking of big skies, right before we tucked in for the night, we were treated to a pretty decent electrical storm. As it turns out, we've arrived in the rainy season for Argentina, and this theme of nightly storms will carry on throughout our time here. Welcome to Argentina, ladies and gentlemen. This is country number 16, and the final country that we will be adding to our list on the Pan American Highway. It's been an absolutely incredible drive in to where we are now. The landscape here is uniquely different from where we were in Bolivia, and it looks like it's just going to keep on getting better. It's a totally crazy landscape. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's beautiful here. Our plan for this week is pretty straightforward. After the Lagunas route and all the time we spent off-road in Bolivia, we're just going to give ourselves a little bit of a rest. We're going to stick mainly to highways. There are lots of geographical sites to see here in Jujuy, Argentina. That's the province that we're in. And yeah, we're just going to tool around on highways for the most part, explore some of these really cool and beautiful rock formations, and we'll eventually wind up in Salta by the end of the week, where we'll probably drink a bunch of wine and then we'll be on to another overland adventure route through Argentina before crossing back into Chile. So that's the plan. We've got a short drive to a camp spot where we're going to hide away for a day and catch up on some work, and then we'll be off and running again and exploring country number 16. Stoked. All right, let's do it. But first, we can't venture out into the desert without food, so we'll need to make a quick stop off at the town of Susques. So we just rolled into the little town of Susques, I think it's pronounced. And since crossing the border, we haven't managed to get insurance because there's no towns between like the border town and here. And it was a bit of a challenge to figure out how or where to get insurance. And the lady that we were talking to online was taking a little bit of time, so we don't have insurance yet. And we were like, well, we could stay in our spot until we get insurance, but we don't know how long that could take, and we want to get some shopping done before tonight because it's New Year's Eve tonight. And so we're like, okay, whatever, we'll just drive into the next town, we'll park, and we'll wait for insurance. Seriously, the minute we drive into Susques, there's a police check. And they asked us for our insurance, and we didn't have it. Luckily, they were understanding, realizing that we just crossed the border, didn't have time to get insurance yet. And we showed them our conversation, just waiting for insurance. So, close call, but yeah, just one of the things that is sometimes a little bit of a challenge when you're crossing into a new border or into a new country, and there's no border facilities for insurance and stuff like that. So, close call. How did it go? First grocery shop in Argentina.
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah. We've got enough food to survive for a little longer now.
Oh,
some fresh food.
Ew.
It was only $20 for all this.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Nice.
I was expecting it to be a bit more because we're in small town Argentina.
Argentina, yeah.
But yeah.
Well, success.
Success.
Do you think you need to go to the other store?
No.
Okay, sweet. We just gotta wait for insurance now. Okay, it's an exciting day because we just got our first Argentinian empanadas.
Yeah. Check them out.
Whoa.
Wow. Those look so great.
Oh my gosh. That's gonna be a really nice New Year's Eve meal.
She made these fresh to order in I don't know, not even 10 minutes.
Okay. Empanada
Taste
test time. Cheers.
Cheers. Are they gonna be so hot?
Oh my gosh. This is one of the best things I've tasted on the entire Pan Am. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Wow.
Y'all gotta come to Argentina and eat their empanadas because this is incredible.
Sorry.
All right.
They're so flaky.
Well, we got our empanadas. Insurance is going to be here in 5 minutes. Then we can leave this town and go find camp. And once again, the landscape changes. Yet another recurring theme we'll experience here in Argentina during our first week. It was amazing as we moved across the Argentinian province of Jujuy how many different types and colors of rock we'd seen. But let me tell you, we hadn't seen anything yet. Not long after emerging from the mountains, we came across Salinas Grandes, a far smaller version of Salar de Uyuni. But due to the rainy season being in full force here, the flats had been flooded and we got a taste of that big mirror effect that Uyuni is so famous for. It's New Year's Eve. We've got champagne. We're gonna drink it long before actual New Year's because we're lame and want to
Alex
go to sleep.
doesn't understand how New Year's Eve works. You drink in the evening all the way until midnight. You don't just have one sip at midnight.
Yeah, but we're not even gonna make it to midnight.
Yeah, because we're all alone out here and our bedtime is normally 9 p.m. So we'll do our best.
Okay. Yeah.
Bartender Alex?
It's me.
No. You twist it with your... You don't... he's gonna shoot it. It's gonna get lost in the desert. Yeah.
Happy New Year!
We thought it might be extra bubbly because of all the elevation changes.
It was pretty good.
That was a good shot.
Pretty good, yeah.
Who's finding the cork?
I'm pretty sure I...
Okay, be careful. It's gonna be really bubbly, sweetie. Okay. We're making... See, tilt it. We're making... We're making mango citrus mimosas. At 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve.
We're so cool.
Cheers!
Well, cheers to 2026. Well, Happy New Year's, everyone. We are so incredibly excited for what is to come in 2026. Mm-hmm. We're also so incredibly excited to show you what is coming in 2026. Big plans.
Yeah.
So we hope everyone enjoys their evening, and we'll see you in the new year. Cheers. Okay, bye! We spent a peaceful day here soaking up the sun and quiet, watching clouds flow over the mountaintops and listening to birds chirp as they flitted through the low-lying scrub. It's crazy to think that this time last year, we were in Nuevo Leon, Mexico. I was working on the van while Meg was likely cooking up something delicious. Not much has changed, yet so much has actually changed. Time to head out. As always, we can rarely sit still for more than a full day, and with all the cool stuff to see here in Jujuy province, we've got a serious case of itchy feet. Today we are on our way to Gigantes Dormidos. There's no shortage of cool dirt and rocks to look at in this part of the world, but the province of Jujuy has a few places that I've had pinned on my map for quite some time. We're going to take a pretty reserved approach to what we go see this week, so after this stop, we'll have one other to go see before starting south yet again. I cannot tell you how strange it is to see tall trees after spending so much time up on the Altiplano and in the deep desert. As we continued past the town of Purmarca and north up the Nine, the landscape morphed into a semblance of the Okanagan in British Columbia. Believe me, there's no end to this game of compare and contrast. It's astounding how many similarities to home I've been able to draw in our short time here.
Time for gas. Time for more empanadas.
Ah, empanadas.
Are they cute?
Oh, cute. How gorgeous.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Oh, I get to eat them now.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's lunchtime.
Not long after our refuel stop, we were approaching Gigantes Dormidos. This unique and multicolored rock formation is formed primarily from sedimentary rock, made up of ancient layers of sandstone, limestone, and shale that were deposited millions of years ago when this region lay beneath shallow seas and river systems. Over time, tectonic forces lifted these layers during the rise of the Andes, and relentless erosion by wind, water, and temperature extremes sculpted the ridgeline into its recognizable shape. The result is a natural formation where geology and time align just right, creating the illusion of a giant resting across the high desert. We parked up at the base of this dirt rainbow to get a closer look and made camp for the night, giving ourselves a little bit more time to enjoy this technicolored masterpiece formed by the artful hands of time and erosion.
Well, what a place to park up for a night, hey? Not bad. So last night while we were kind of getting ready for bed, we were discussing our near future, and I was looking at maps and the roads through Chile and through Patagonia and down to Ushuaia, and we just realized that we're starting to get really excited for it. We are really looking forward to seeing some serious greenery again, some big trees, snowy mountains, and we're also realizing really quickly that time is running out for us. We've got 4 months left on this trip, pretty much exactly. Like we'll probably be flying home May 1st-ish, and yeah, we just really want to do a good job of exploring southern Chile and Patagonia and stuff like that. So we're feeling a little bit eager to get down there, and we've got a massive drive to get to the border crossing that we want to take to get to Santiago. So we're going to cut this week a little bit short, which means we're going to hurry on over to the next thing that we want to see, which is Hornocal. It's another big rock formation, very similar to what's behind me, but it's kind of a little bit more jaggy. Then we're gonna head down to Salta, restock, and hit our third and final off-road route that we will take south through Argentina, and then we'll eventually cross back over the Andes to Santiago. So that's the plan for today. Yeah, we're just gonna kind of speed up a little bit through this area of Argentina. It's not that we don't want to explore it more, it's incredibly beautiful, but yeah, we've always wanted to really do justice to traveling southern Chile and southern Argentina through Patagonia. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get driving.
The beauty of the way we travel is that we have total freedom to speed up or slow down as we please. We've been trying our best to maintain a steady pace as we travel south along the Pan American Highway, and we've accomplished a lot, seen a lot, and experienced a lot. Had we not maintained that pace, we would have had to cut out a number of things, which of course we didn't want to do. But now, nearing 2 years traveling the Pan Am, I'll admit, at least one of us is starting to feel pretty homesick. Admittedly, that is me. I think part of the reason I'm spotting all these similarities to places that we've been back home is largely due to my brain and my heart telling me we're closing in on the end. We're not going to speed towards the finish line, but we certainly can hear it calling our names, and we're eager to cross that line. The Serrania de Hornocal, often called the Mountain of 14 Colors, is formed from layered sedimentary rock, including limestone, sandstone, and mineral-rich marine sediments deposited millions of years ago. These layers were uplifted during the formation of the Andes and later exposed by erosion, revealing their vivid colors. What looks like a painted mountainside is actually a cross-section of Earth's deep geological history, laid bare by the ever-present effects of time and tectonic force. Well, there you have it, Hornocal. I kind of suspected it would be a pretty touristy attraction. I didn't expect how touristy it is. And if you guys know us well enough, we're usually pretty turned off by a big tourism crowd, so maybe the allure of it has been stolen away a little bit by that. And now we're driving to south somewhere. We're not entirely sure if we're going to go through Salta or if we're just going to go straight to our starting point for our off-road route. I guess we'll just see what happens. It's kind of a, I don't know, free-for-all, toss-up, whatever you want to call it, for this week of travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Decide on the fly.
That's what you do sometimes. You just decide on the fly. Yeah.
Pointing south, we began to descend towards the Yungas ecoregion and Salta province. We'd need to do a quick restock in the city of Salta before departing for the Altiplano once again. As we lost elevation, the mountains on either side of us became progressively more green and lush until we were eventually surrounded on all sides by thick vegetation. As we descended, the temperature and humidity rose, and we were suddenly having flashbacks of Central America. As we traversed the valley bottom, rain clouds gathered on the horizon and the sound of cicadas filled the cab. Although we were both dealing with flashbacks of sweltering heat and inescapable jungle, I couldn't help but think at the same time, this area looked a little bit like the Fraser Valley where I'm from. I'm telling you, I just can't help it. There are so many similarities here. We had pinned a camp spot near a reservoir for that night, and as we made our way towards it, we were deposited onto this narrow and snaking road, hemmed in on either side by dense and lush jungle. Tonight's camp would mark our turnaround point. Tomorrow, we would head back up into the mountains. We'd restock on groceries, fuel, and water before leaving Salta province and heading to our final notable off-road route on this trip. But our adventure for this week wasn't quite over yet. Before we'd leave, there would be one last wild experience to be had. Oh, this is nice.
Well, what a day.
What a day.
Man,
Big one.
big day. Tonight,
Salad.
we've got some salad. We've got some empanadas. And we're actually low enough that I can drink a beer tonight. So that's pretty great. Well, that was certainly an interesting night. Right before we went to sleep last night, a storm rolled in and it started raining heavier than we have ever experienced rain happen before. Like, yeah, it was insane. And you'll notice that we're camped right beside a reservoir. You'll also notice that we're no longer camped down there. We're camped higher up. And Meg had gone to sleep and I was reading and it was just raining like crazy, and then I went to go look outside and I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but right over there, that stream that I was standing in yesterday had become a full-on river. And I looked over at the level of the reservoir and it had come up considerably. Like, I think it probably went up about 4 feet last night. And we were like parked right over there, which was high ground and we totally would have been fine, but suddenly that river or the creek that I was standing in was like just a few feet away from, well, I mean like probably 20 feet away from the van. And I'm like, oh, this is a flash flood. So, yeah, I told Meg that we had to move, and so started up the van, and absolutely like blitzed through that low spot there. It was completely flooded. Barely made it up the hill. By the time we got to here, I was doing burnouts in the mud. So yeah. Be cautious of where you camp, folks. Holy smokes, that was a little bit scary. I mean, it was dumping last night. I had to put on a jacket and get out, and I was a little bit worried that we were going to wind up getting stuck in that low spot while we tried to escape. But we made it. Lesson learned. Camp on high ground. Always. Whew. Hello, everybody. Okay, well, we're getting an early start today. We have a big errand day to stock up on all the food and fuel that we can before we start our next big off-road route. It's going to be the last one that we do on this trip. After that, we just head to the Chilean coast and start driving mostly roads, the Carretera Austral, and basically more or less staying off of off-road routes, which at this point we're kind of ready for, right?
Yeah, ready.
Yeah. It's been an interesting week, first week here in Argentina, and it's been pretty beautiful, and we're excited to see more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're excited for more empanadas.
Always excited for empanadas. All right, well, thanks for being here. We'll see you in the next one. It's going to be good.
And with that, we're heading back to the dry and high desert for what could be our wildest off-road adventure yet, a route I have been eager to travel for 2 long years. As always, it's going to be an incredible experience, but this time with the Argentinian Altiplano to fill our windshield. Thank you for being here along with us on this journey. We hope in some way we sparked your curiosity. Maybe you even learned something. At the very least, we hope we showed you a world worth exploring, worth protecting and valuing. Now, get out and go on that next big adventure. Make the memories that stick with you, shape you, and change you. Until the next one, keep on roaming. If you would like to see behind-the-scenes content, get route and camp spot information, or if you'd just like to help support us by putting some gas in our tank each month, you can contribute on Patreon or through memberships on our YouTube channel. And oh hey there bud, before you go, don't forget to go on over to slowroamers.com to get yourself some rad Slow Roamers merch. We've even got some new stickers and stuff in there for you. For additional photos and commentary on your journey, you can follow along on Facebook and Instagram. Well, Argentina, it looks like someone took a bunch of paint cans and dumped paint all over your rocks. You sure are colorful. Looking forward to exploring you more. Okay, bye!
I'm staring into the sun.
I'm in the darkness.
Here.
Is this the first time?
How do we do this?
This is the first time you've ever done this?
I don't know how to make videos at all. How do cameras work? Okay, well, you're going to get a shadow in your face.
Why don't you use your other hand and come over here?
Here, like this.
Oh,
there you
but
go.
then they're
No.
so beautiful.
Oh, well, the van's really beautiful. Here, come on.
Is it?
Come on.
You've been filming this whole ordeal.
Bloopers. Well, Happy New Year, everyone. Well, Happy New Year, Slower Rumor.
What's up?
Well, Happy New Year's. Slow room. Okay, bye!
What is wrong with you?